And that's the SRAM transmission.
It is an exciting day because today SRAM, yes, the mighty Goliath of SRAM, is announcing 3 new drivetrains, various new chainrings,
cassettes,
cranks, and 6 new brake sets, but most notably, kind of an entire change of how the derailleur mounts to your bike. Some big bold innovation here we're gonna go over.
This is the most revolutionary thing to happen to the bike industry since tires.
So by now, I'm sure you are familiar with SRAM's Eagle Access drivetrains. That's their 12-speed 1x drivetrain with electronic wireless shifting. Today, they're making it the Eagle Transmission Access, XO, XX, and XSX.
Today, Junior?
XSSL.
XXSL.
Yes.
3 new drivetrains. We're gonna try and run down all of the important new things that SRAM is releasing today without getting too nitty-gritty into the details, but just give you the high-level important stuff that you need to know quickly and concisely. And if you're curious about all the details, please look below the video. There will be a link to a very extensive article that has all of the breakdown and pricing and weights and everything else you could ever imagine.
Everything.
So let's talk about this. This is a whole new setup from SRAM. Okay, we got to start with the UDH.
Yes.
Universal Derailleur Hanger. This is a derailleur hanger SRAM designed and basically said, hey, bike industry, everyone just use this so we can finally have a universal derailleur hanger. Turns out they had a very long-term plan with that, and the plan was to eventually make that derailleur hanger obsolete and design the derailleur to mount directly to the frame and not need that derailleur hanger anymore.
Nice.
So that is the new transmission, and there is a lot of advantages that come along with that. You don't need a hanger. First off, everyone's gonna go, oh, but now if you crash,
you're gonna break the derailleur, dude.
The derailleur. Actually, is not really the case. So the derailleur now has way more clearance, as in it sits way further inside towards the wheel, which is a great thing, meaning it will get hit less often. It also grips onto the frame like a vice, making it unbelievably durable and strong. And I think there's some crazy data SRAM put out there if it takes some obscene amount of weight to actually bend the thing.
To basically stand on it.
It's pretty unbelievable, but it also makes the entire system so stiff, which allows the shifting to shift under load like you would not believe. Tell him about it. You had a smile ear to ear.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. I couldn't really believe it, and then we just were riding the transmission, full watt pulls, under load, shifting, and it was totally fine. Nice and crisp, clean shifts. It blew my mind.
I've never in my life ridden a drivetrain that does this. It is one of those things that's a little hard to explain, but once you get on a bike with the new Eagle transmission, you pretty much tangibly realize how this works, and you can be pedaling as hard as you possibly can and just keep hitting the button on the controller, and it shifts perfectly smooth with like zero hesitation or zero issue. It's unbelievable. It's quite shocking, which can really change the way you ride the bike, especially in a racing situation.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that's one of the most notable things. Everyone here at the shop that's ridden this, that's the first thing. They're just mind blown and eyes wide open, and they can't believe that they could do that. There's also some really cool stuff with the clutch on the derailleurs.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should.
That allows this whole system to be a lot more quiet. It's got the little magic wheel, which is that lower pulley wheel, which you can get a stick caught in and then it still can spin. Yep. There is a lot of crazy innovation they packed into these things. So the XXSL is your premium level cross-country ultra lightweight group set from SRAM. Then the XX is your Enduro trail bike lightweight pinnacle of performance carbon cranks. And the XO, durable Enduro aluminum crank set
with removable bash guards, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of new chain rings going on, power meter cranks, e-bike compatible cranks, different mounting system for the chain rings, bash guards on the chain rings specifically designed for e-bikes to go along with the cranks and or the power meters.
Yep, power meter compatibility, yep.
Yeah, the whole system. Oh, one thing that we really should highlight here is that you don't have to adjust this really anymore.
That's right.
It's like a foolproof sort of system. The axle goes from your bike through the entire derailleur when it mounts up. And there is no more B-tension or high and low screw at all.
Oh, at all, yep.
So
pretty unreal.
they're just gone.
Yep.
Not necessary anymore.
No need to adjust it.
The way the whole system sort of goes in together, you just don't even need it anymore, which is wild. You were like a little child riding this thing, just like, dude, I couldn't get him to stop ride. I was like, I gotta ride it now too. Like, let me ride it. And he's just pinning it around, just like, I'm shifting as hard as I can pedal.
Yeah. That is definitely what I am most excited about, just because, kind of like you were saying earlier, after years of riding a bike, you inherently develop this skill of just ever so lightly unweighting your power just to shift during your shifts, so you don't snap your chain or whatever. But you don't have to worry about that with this at all. And that was kind of something you had to ride to believe. But I fully believe it, and it's mind blown. But that's probably what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I agree. That is wild. They also came out too with these new shifter, controller, pod, whatever you want to call it. These now can work for your reverb access dropper post or your derailleur. Kind of a nifty new design with new tactile clicky buttons.
Very nice buttons.
Pretty cool setup.
Yeah, they're almost like a ambidextrous setup, right? Like left or right, and you can position them. They're a little bit more modular, and gosh, nice adjustability there, I guess.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool thing to just kind of tack onto this whole drivetrain. So the SRAM Eagle Transmission. So did we mention UDH? We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
Compatibility, that derailleur will go on a frame that has the UDH, the Universal Derailleur Hanger. There's some links in the article that we made that you can check out, which kind of show you if your bike has that or not. So you can see if this stuff fits your bike. But you'll probably very well likely start seeing all newer bikes, if they're not already UDH, come with these Eagle Access Transmission drivetrains, sort of, out of the box.
Eagle Access Drivetrain Transmission. Whew, it's a mouthful.
That's what she said.
We should also jump into the chains. The chains are now flat top in various different colors. They make a hollow link one as well. A lot of this stuff across the board. The derailleurs are slightly heavier in comparison to the old stuff, but the pods are lighter, the chains are lighter, the cassettes are lighter. The cassettes are totally different. The way that they mount and work, and that whole system is quite a bit different. And they made them lighter. And
the gear ratios.
The gear ratios are, some might say, better.
Improved.
They're just improved. Yeah, there's less of a gap now between their largest cog and the next one down.
Yep.
Which that's pretty nice. Which also aids in that whole being able to shift under crazy power and it just work flawlessly. I'm definitely curious to see. We were talking about, sure you can do it, but should you? Shifting under load is one of those things. Will it prematurely wear out your drivetrain or possibly cause your chain to break or a tooth on your cassette to break?
At least under full pulls, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just regular cruising around, I mean.
Might be totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little TBD. Again, can you, should you? Slightly different things there. But will you? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even just in those worst case scenarios where you're climbing and you need to grab some shifts, or you accidentally didn't realize that there was a switchback and all of a sudden a huge uphill and you got to just grab a bunch of gears till you can make it up that thing. That's going to be where this is just going to make it so much more convenient to ride your bike and be able to shift under load like that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rad. This is impressive new stuff, which I'm not that surprised because SRAM is a drivetrain company at the core, and when they drop new drivetrains, it's a big deal and they make big waves with that stuff. So yeah, this is a pretty cool system. I'm excited to see how this rolls out.
Yeah.
Also, it's already won a cross-country world championship last year on Nino Schurter's bike, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He actually crashed in the race on the derailleur mid-race and still won, which is pretty wild. So yeah, these things can take a total beating.
Not only that, but they did. It's time to talk about the brakes.
The brakes, man. Breaking news.
They have also released some new brakes.
6 new brakes.
6 new brakes. What do we got? We got Code Ultimate Stealth. Code Silver Stealth. Then we have Level Ultimate Stealth.
4-piston.
4-piston.
Which is new, because Levels historically used to just be a 2-piston brake set. And now they have them in 4-piston and 2-piston.
That's right. So you basically have levels in both versions. Ultimate and Silver, and 2 and 4 piston.
Yeah, which is cool. And now the Code, which never came in an Ultimate variant, now does come in an Ultimate variant, which Ultimate is the ultimate, the top end, highest one.
You can get your carbon lever blade.
Your carbon lever blade. So the stealth component, I believe, refers to the way these cables angle out of the actual lever body. And the cable now, brake line, cable, whatever you want to call it, angles up a lot more towards the handlebar. Some might imagine that handlebars will start having holes in them so you can internally route your brake lines.
Or if you have a bike with headset cable routing, it would more conveniently slide right in there.
That's what she said.
That is true. That would make it look nicer.
It would make it look nicer, less awkward. But yeah, these basically pop out and go, as you'll probably see on the screen right now, pretty much right along your handlebar. So hence the name Stealth.
It might be a little polarizing if you like the angle of the dangle.
Yes. Or the way the wang hang.
Not super sold on cables going inside of handlebars or inside of headsets. I'm super sold on having no cables. That's cool, but that's not really an option with brakes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about these. The lever bodies look amazing.
They do. Oh, don't show them that.
I've been a fan of SRAM brakes for quite some time now, and man, if I had a bike with holes in the handlebars or the headset, could these look nice?
Yeah.
You look pretty.
What did you say?
I said you look shitty.
It's more of an aesthetic thing.
You love it, aesthetics.
I do love aesthetics, and the lever bodies look really aesthetically pleasing.
They do.
But the angle of the cable, I'm not yet convinced. Let's come back to this in 2 or 3 years.
And can we slacken that by like 2 degrees?
Yeah.
Like,
slacken that by 2 degrees. It is
slacken
cool
it.
that the levels come in 4-piston now. I have levels on my gravel bike, which some say is not a gravel bike because it has flat bars and a dropper post, but it has 700 by 40 and Mallet-E's. It's 700 by 45C tires, but I have level 2 piston brakes on that, and those are shockingly powerful for 2 piston, and I really like them. So I'm kind of stoked that this is a thing now.
But then you have to have that angle.
Yeah, we'll see. I bet you that this is one of those things that as headsets evolve, bars evolve, we evolve in what we like the appearance of. I don't know, kind of reminds me of just internal cables in general, which initially was super polarizing. A lot of people hated, and now it's kind of a real thing because it got worked out really well.
It's true.
We'll see. We'll see how things evolve and shake out. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of this new SRAM stuff, feel free to message us anytime. Just hit the Worldwide Cyclery site. There's a little chat box, a contact thing, phone numbers. Yeah, we're all about helping people with this stuff and upgrading your mountain bike if you're interested in upgrading your mountain bike. And if you've watched this far, thank you very much. We will see you at some point in the future with another YouTube video and a more extensive test video and more details about this. And we will answer even more questions about this particular new drivetrain setup on our podcast. You can just search MTB podcast in your favorite podcast player to find that. Thank you very much. Give him some final words, Jared.
Thank you very much for watching. If you, like Jeff said, have any questions about this, feel free to hit us up. Even email us, podcast@Worldwide Cyclery, and we'll answer your question on the podcast.
Yep.
If it's a good enough question. And yeah, if you are so inclined, please hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with a friend because we love it when you share the channel with your friends.
Cheerio.